Here, and I hope you guys are doing so well. Oh, great, I should say. Today, we're gonna do something really easy and very simple. I did a couple of sketches later, not later, I did a couple of sketches earlier this day, and I wanna walk you guys through how I did it. So I'm sharing it to I'm showing you the images at the moment, so you can take a look, and so that I don't waste your time. If you already know how to do this, then probably you could click off. But if you want to stay around and learn something new, then you're welcome to join, and let's let's learn together. Okay, so you can leave me a comment if I miss something, as usual. So we're gonna start with this, the simplest one. Which of these is easiest? The easiest to draw. I think all of them is easy to draw, but depending on your level or your taste of arts, that's when you would how you would see it. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I hope so. So yes, with this one, for instance, with the I'm gonna start off with probably with the fox, because that's what I feel like it's the most difficult one. It's not really difficult, but there's a lot of details when it comes to the what is it called? When you're making the fur. When you're making the fur, it's not pretty. It's not very difficult to make the fur. You just have to understand one simple thing. That is the direction of the fur. Right? When you're drawing the fur, of, let's say for the fox, for instance, you would have to keep your pencil sharp like that, and hair always stick together. So when you see here, there isn't any hair which is single out like this. It has to be double, and when it doubles up, it sticks together. You get it? So it's like this. So that's what I did here, right? You probably close all of them, like as you can see. I don't know if it's close enough for you to see, but you see these areas and these corners, you have to close all of them. It's not like this. There are some areas that you would do it like this, but it's not that much. You have to close it, all right? You have to close it. You do like that, you keep closing them like that. So either you close it from top or you close it from bottom, right? These are the two ways that you could keep in mind when you're doing the fur here. And also when it comes to this area, when it comes to this side, for instance, you do the same thing, right? You do the same. When you consider, there's another one that I would discuss, like for instance, when you look at the dog, for instance, for the dog, it's pretty the same concept with the fox. All right, I would explain how the dog is done. It's a little bit different with when you compare these two, but it's pretty much the same concept. So we'll do that when I finish with this fox. So here you realize that this area, you keep it really spiky, you keep it spiky and make sure that the two or three would originate from the same spot, right? Right? Two or three originate from the same spot, like that. Exactly. And when you come here, you don't do it one direction. You go you go up like that, and left, right, left, and right, right? You do it like that, and you would end up with the fur. Should I say the fluffiness of the fur? That's how it's gonna look like. For instance, like this area, as you watch me, I hope you can see me clearly. As you watch me do it, like it goes like this, right? You keep doing it like that. Keep it. Right. So you be patiently, you do it, take it your time, you take your time and one stroke at a time. It's not difficult. It just requires a lot of patience. I think what makes it difficult is the when you're done and you want to shade it, because the shading is going to make it more realistic, or should I say 2D or 3D, give it more dimension, right? That is when it becomes tricky. Like as you can see, I'm just doing I'm just using this same spiky method, this area, right? And it adds a lot more detail to it. It makes it look, should I say good enough? Okay, I can't say good enough because there's always a better way to do something. But this is the approach I have found to draw hair. No, not hair, fur. I'll make another tutorial. I'll make a tutorial. I'll stream another way on how to draw hair. But at the moment, we are doing animals. When you come here to the skin, the lower part, the same way. But when you're doing it, you would have to follow the shape, right? If this is how it goes, you just follow like that. You just follow it. You get it. You follow the shape. That's how it is, right? So like this. Right. That's pretty much that's how you do it, right? That's how you do it here, and you try to keep it consistent, and you close all the loops. You don't leave it, you don't single it out when you're doing it. And yeah, that is how you would do the fur of the fox. This place is gonna be a bit darker because it's below the neck, and lights wouldn't, fall on. The lights is coming. We always presume lights is from this way or this way. It's hardly that we draw from light from beneath it, but that is also possible, right? So you just shade it like this, and yeah. There's a lot more that can be done to this to make it better, but at the moment, I don't want to go too much in detail. I just want to illustrate how I did the fur of this fox, right? So that is that. You can keep on adding a little more shadows here and there to make it pop, but that is just a personal preference. If you have a strong OCDs. Then yeah. So at the moment, this is it so far. So okay, we'll not do the fish now. We're gonna go to the dolphin next. I'm gonna do the dolphin, and after they do the dolphin, we'll do the cat and the dog right next. So with this one, the dolphin is pretty easy because you know the dolphin skin is pretty smooth and slippery. So it's easier, it's very easy to do. So I just want to walk you guys through this one as fast as possible before we get into the next one. So after you've had your shape, right? Yeah. For the dolphin, obviously you don't have to do too much of the dolphin, right? Unless you want to be extremely creative. But today what we're trying to achieve is just keep it very simple, right? We're trying to keep everything simple. So this area we're gonna make it soft shading. And since the dolphin is, let's say, it's what's the right word I'm looking for? Since the dolphin, let's say, it's a 3D. Let me use 3D for instance. So you're gonna shade it according to the direction, right? So this way, you shade it this way. You shade it this way in order for you to get that feeling so that it doesn't appear to be very flat. So here, for instance, I will go this way. The direction is very, 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 very crucial, right? So I'm just gonna go this way. I hope you're observing the pattern of my strokes, right? You go this way and this way so that you can achieve the the 3D feeling of it, right? So like that. And underneath it too, you do the same thing here. You see, after I did this, see how should I say, protruding it's feeling, or how more 3D-ish it's becoming. So the direction is very, very important. You can have a bad drawing, but there's good shading and it's gonna make it look good. And you can have a good drawing with a bad shading and it's just gonna make it look bad, right? So this direction, if you follow the direction like that, you know, you don't do too much, keep it very simple. And underneath here, the same thing, keep it simple. When you get here also, this place should be a bit darker because it's beyond this part, and we want to emphasize that part so the light doesn't reach that area, and for that matter it's just dark, right? So yeah, that's it. I don't want to overdo this one. Just want to keep it as simple as possible, right? And that's it. You know, that's how that's how you do this one. When you get here, you keep the same principle. The direction would go this way. The question here is, how would you know which direction to shade to, right? The question is, how would you know which direction you would want to shade to? And there's two ways to answer that. One, it comes with experience. The more you do it, the more you would know what works and what doesn't work. And two, I always shade at a 45 angle. 45 angle, right? So with this one, you can see this stroke here, right? If you take this one, if you take this angle and this angle here, that is how I do it. It might be right, it might be wrong, but after, based on the little experience that I have, I always feel like it works for me. So just two ways on how you can know which direction you would want to shade. You'd want to shade. And the other one is like a bonus one is you have to shade according to the direction of your shape. So if you have a shape like this, then you would want to shade this way, right? Right? So you can follow this one, you can follow the shape, and you can get it done easily. No stress. Your shape is this way, you follow the shape, no stress. If your shape is like this, just follow the shape. If you don't know what you're doing, just follow the shape and save yourself a lot of guesswork, right? That is if you want to do a single shade. But if you want to do cross shading, then you add the perpendicular method as I discussed earlier on to it, and you can get it done, right? If you don't want to do any cross shading or hard shading. And when you get here, you just go inside like this, because this goes inside, so the arc, the the shading you'll be doing here also would go inside, and you would have this thing done as that. All right, so yeah, we're done with the dolphin. We're gonna move on to the dog. Another tricky one, I should say. We'll do this fish later, and the deer, we'll also do the deer. We did this fox already, so we're done with the fox and the dolphin. Okay, now let's do the dog. Let me walk you guys through the dog. All right, the dog. Okay, so here when you compare the two, it's pretty similar. However, with the dog, the strokes are shorter. That is how I do it. I don't know if there's another way that. So with the dog, I keep it short, right? I keep it very short and sweet, like that. Make sure you don't overdo it. And here, the chest area, you wanna keep this place puffy. Should I say puffy or puff? So you shade to the left, to the right, and you leave this areas with just a little strokes, left and right kind of strokes, to get this area done. Don't forget your shadows. It will make or break it. I wish I knew this earlier or sooner when I was starting. Shadows, oh, shadows is everything, everything. Okay, not everything, but I feel like it's more like about 60% of the work, you know? So yeah, that's with the dog. It's pretty easier compared to the fox. I felt this fox was a bit complicated when I was doing it, but the dog, just keep it short. And you see, that's how it is. I feel like I'm overdoing it, but yeah, this area is gonna be a bit darker because of the ear. This place is gonna be a bit darker. Right? And inside here as well. Keep it like that. Then it makes the drawing pop more. You know. Get this place as dark because the light won't hit that area. And here as well. I want to emphasize that this place is inner, right? So yeah, you do that part, shade here, and you shade here, and yeah, voila. You can keep doing that. To just throw more light on it, so that the dog becomes more beautiful. And also the name tag, you know, beneath it, this area, you can just draw more line, more tiny lines to emphasize the shadow. But if you don't want to stress, you can just shade it off and yeah. But if you're taking your time to do it, then you better do it properly. You get it? So yeah, that's how this one goes. Oh, thank you so much, Tazin. Tazim. I hope I got the name right, Tazim. Thank you so much. Hey, hello, Mark. So when you get to the name tag here, this top part, you'd have to make it darker, right? Make it darker. And the bottom also make it darker. You know, it adds more detail to it. And the more details it has, the more realistic and appealing it becomes. When you get here, the light is from this side. So we're gonna do more shadows here, or more fair emphasis, throwing more emphasis on the shadows, right? Remember, the more fair you have, the more shadows it means, the more details it is. When the light falls on it, it becomes overexposed, so you don't see any details. That's the logic behind it. So you add details here and there. I try not to leave it all white. Just throw in there a couple of lines, right? Just throw in there a couple of lines. This way, it feels a bit natural. So this is it, more or less, like that. And don't forget your shadows. Any place that in this area you would see a little bit of the what's it called, the name chain going through the neck, but you don't have to do, you don't do too much of that part, or it's going to throw off the entire drawing or sketch. You just add a little bit of shadows here and there, right? And the face becomes well defined. Right, there it is. So yeah, that's with the dog. So when you come to the cats as well, for the cats, when I'm working on the cats, this is how I like to do it. I like to do it like this, but it's very subtle. You hold your pencil very subtle, and you go through it, right? You don't do too much. These are methods that this is how I find that it works. So if this is how I find it works, so I can't explain too much about it. So you just keep it like that, this way, right? But you keep it soft whilst you're going, more or less like a zigzag. Right, not too much. You do too much, you might overdo it, and it loses its it loses how you're trying. It loses what you're trying to achieve. Oh, thank you. Mas, Maximenko, Maximenko. Thank you so much for the comment. I hope I got the name right. So when you get to the pause, the same thing. You throw a little. You darken it, and you make it rough. Throw a little bit to emphasize on the shadows and this area as well. Right? You don't do too much. Always remember, you don't do too much. You can do too much, but always less is more. There are some artwork or some drawings that you really need to go, go crazy on. But I have a drawing like that is not appropriate for today's content. So maybe I can show it to illustrate my point. So for instance, here, this place is shadowed. So this place is darker. I have where's I have this drawing that I so just to illustrate what I'm saying. It's you don't do too much. It's this piece, for instance, right? So when you look at this piece, I don't know if you can understand it, but here it's a bird here, right? This part is a bird and it's a hand. This part is a hand calling out the bird to come for food in his palm, right? So for this one, for instance, you know, it's more or less like a abstract self-expression. So for this one, you go crazy on, but what we are doing here, you keep it simple. Push, you don't push so much with this. Keep it as simple as possible. So there it is. And if you can, you can make it, can add some details or some shadows beneath it. Beneath what this is, you know. You have some details to it here. And this way, you have some details. You have some details here and there. And yeah, that's about it for this Meow Me, the cat. And always remember, for the cat, the concept is pretty similar with the fox, right? The concept is pretty similar with the fox. So you make it more like a V kind of a V kind of a detailing, a V kind of a detailing of the fur around the ears. And yeah, that's about it for the cat. So moving on, when you come to, okay, the fish will be the last one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. So moving on, we are done with this 2 and the dog. So moving on, we'll be doing the we'll be working with the deer, right? Explaining how the deer is done. So with the deer, the deer's fur is very, 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 should I say tidy? It looks like a very clean. So you can't do too much, only to the edges, you know. Just add some details to the edges to make it feel like there are, or there's some information going on there. It's not very plain, right? Right? There's some information going on with the deer. Exactly like that. A horse, sure. I would draw a horse. I would do a horse. So when you come here, you just do this. Give it some details. And around the ear as well, you do the, you keep it, the fur. You see how it feels like, it's not a lot, but these details make it really, it makes the drawing really stands out, you know. So you just add these things to it. These, it's just what I'm doing here. Where's my paper? What I'm doing here is just spikes. I don't know if you can see it. So pretty. Bambi so pretty. Oh, thank you for the comment, Kanye Blue. So you're just doing spikes, right? Just spikes like this. Right. It's more or less like eyelashes. If you know how to draw eyelashes, that's the same approach to this. So you just keep going on like that. You know, you do the details. It makes it feel so better, in my opinion. Right? So you add these details to it. And voila, you know, you can keep going at it with the one inside. Now tell me, isn't it looking better? Right? Doesn't it look much better? You get it? So that's the same. You do it. You can do it left and right. It's just these little details, right? Makes your work. Might get a standing ovation. I don't know. But yeah, these are the details that distinguish the pros and the, you know, the amateurs. It's just these little things, that these hidden features. You get it, right? Right. So yeah. I really like the eyelashes of the deer. They look so pretty. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just messing up. Just messing around. So yeah, you do that with the work, and you can tell the details really makes a difference. It's not really difficult, you know. It's just, you see that you have to know this skill, and right. And when you get here underneath the head area, what I like to do is I go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. up, down, right? This is how I like to do it. Just to draw in some shadows, you know, put in some shadows there, and yeah, not too much here that could be done about this one, and not too much that I want to do about this one. I'm sure that some other people see this, they might want to add a lot more, but like I said, we just want to keep it simple as possible. You always remember less is more. Yeah. So, all right, you have it this way. You shade, and here what you would do, because light is coming in from this direction, right? I'm gonna shade it. I'm gonna shade it this way. I'm shading it this way. And when it goes lower, the strokes become shorter. All right, you don't want to keep the same length of stroke. No, you start off here longer. When it goes down, it gets shorter. All right. Yeah. Yep. So that is for this one. Um, if there's any question or anything that I missed, something that you'd want me to re-explain for this one, kindly leave me a message. Send me a message before we move on to the fish. I would like to duck in this one a little bit. Okay. Yep, there we have it. So that is for the deer, and yeah, that is it. So now we're moving on to the next one. So for the next one, we'll be looking at this fish. And for the fish, the character here is, I feel like it's based on Nemo. So we're gonna shade the scales. And how you shade the scale is you shade behind it. You shade behind, so the scales are pretty much like this. So you would want to shade here, right? You would want to shade here. The next one you shade here. The next one you shade here. That is how this. That is how the scales work, right? So I'm gonna be doing that. when it comes to the fin, I want to emphasize the fact that it's not a flat surface. It's more or less like a wiggle. So I will shade. I'm not gonna shade everything. I'm shading here. Right, shade it like this. And I'll do the same method also here for this fin. Always remember, you just follow. You just follow the shape or the lines which you've drawn. And when it comes here to the cheeks, I want to emphasize that she's she's a cutie with a fat cheek. So I'm gonna shade it this direction. This way you can have the more emphasis will be thrown upon the cheeks and what I want to show. All right. I like how she's happy. And when it comes here, we do the same thing. Shade after the lines. Shade after the lines. Shade after the lines. Shade after the lines. And shade after the lines. Shade after the lines. Okay, so for this, that's how it is for the fish. Remember, don't do too much. There you go. So yep, that's for the fish. So that's pretty much it. And the yep. Did I miss anything? All right. So that's it. So that's for the fish. So the fish is done, and we completed the deer, and we went through. Maybe let me see if I can the hut somewhere here. Aww. Whatever. I don't know if it looks good or not. But yeah, that's it. We completed all these as discussed from the beginning. So if there's any question or anything I missed out, kindly let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Okay, peace out.